Our next speakers, Dr. Donald Miller and Dr. Lorna Turian-Miller. They come to us with an extensive and impressive cadre of inspiring experiences. A very quick biography on this couple individually. Dr. Miller, Firestone Professor of Religion at University of Southern California. He's Executive Director of the Center of Religion and Civics Culture at USC, as well as Professor of Religion and Sociology. He's the author of 9 books. He has served in many capacities at USC and has traveled extensively in Africa, Asia, Latin America, studying religious trends. Dr. Turian-Miller is Armenian by nationality and the daughter of 2 survivors of Armenian genocide. She has worked and has served in several capacities as well as researcher and director, and was instrumental in bringing so many community-based organizations and programs, both locally and internationally, all focused and based on extensive interviews with people who are seeking justice, equality, and a public voice in decisions related to their welfare and future, raising awareness and conducting multicultural dialogue among elected leaders. I want to read an excerpt from their, I also have one other portion which is very crucial for today. Dr. Turian-Miller and Dr. Donald Trump, No. You know, I've been hearing the name so much. This is our comedy moment. This was intentional. No, my apologies, Dr. Miller. They co-authored 2 books, An Oral History of the Armenian Genocide, which is based on 100 interviews with survivors of genocide, and Armenia, Portraits of Survival and Hope. Their journey in recording oral histories took them to Rwanda in 2001, where they experienced something different, first-hand post-traumatic stress disorder in Rwandan survivors. Hence, the Millers are currently writing a book on Rwanda based on 200 interviews, documenting how survivors are coping in the aftermath of the genocide, focusing specifically on trauma, healing, and forgiveness. I want to read a small excerpt from their book, the book that they will be talking about today, their research from that book, An Oral History of the Armenian Genocide. Once Lorna and I were engaged, the real seduction began, namely, Medharik started his educational campaign. He was not going to have a son-in-law who didn't know his daughter's heritage. And Med's mama joined in the efforts by introducing me to eggplant cooked in olive oil, sarma, dolma, kufte, pilav, and a host of other delicacies. Perhaps it is unfair to say that my father-in-law engaged in an intentional program of education. Actually, I think he could not help talking about his childhood. The genocide had left an irrepressible memory on him as a young boy of 7 or 8 in 1915. So we spent Sunday afternoons talking and listening to fragments of his story, learning the names of great Armenian political figures, and hearing his outrage against the Turks for denying that a genocide had occurred. This couple, I've been researching their work, and they're so warm, so passionate, so eloquent. I invite I know that today Dr. Donald Miller will be presenting, and he will explain why.